Full time at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0. I think if I told you that was going to be the result in the first leg, you would have been pretty pleased with it under any circumstances. Under these circumstances, it's an excellent result and a pretty heroic performance. We'll talk about Granit Xhaka, we'll talk about the sending off, but I think first and foremost we need to pay tribute to the guys who stayed out there on the pitch. Their organisation, their application, their work rate, their concentration, all fantastic. It is very, very difficult to play on the back foot for as long as these guys did and not let your concentration slip, not allow yourself to not track a runner, not miss a tackle, not miss time a pass. Arsenal were excellent. And in a similar fashion, really, to the way in which they played against Manchester City after going down to 10 men. They were very unfortunate to lose to a cruel late winner on that occasion with a lucky bounce of the ball for City. It didn't happen this time. And they did have their chance, Liverpool. Minamono blazed over with almost an open goal after Ramsdale failed to punch clear convincingly at the near post. But Arsenal held on. And I think front to back, they all deserve huge, huge credit. And it sets up an absolutely fascinating second leg, I have to say. At the Emirates Stadium, 0-0, Liverpool will still be without their two stars, Mane and Salah. Who knows? Arsenal might have some players back by then. Certainly Martin Odegaard, you'd think, would be available for that one or two more potentially. It'll be interesting. I think the atmosphere at the Emirates Stadium is going to be absolutely electric. As much as some people might scoff at the League Cup, I think after everything that's gone on with Liverpool and with the postponements, there is a real hunger for Arsenal to knock them out and go through to the final of this competition, potentially against Chelsea. And we've had some decent results in finals against them down the years. Few thoughts from the game. Callum Chambers came on for Cedric. Given the amount of football he's played, the lack of minutes he's had, I thought he put in a fantastic performance. Personally, I don't really understand why Cedric's ahead of him in the pecking order. I think Chambers is a more natural replacement for Tomiyasu. And I think last season, in the second half of last season, he showed that he was some way ahead of Cedric. Presumably the contract situation is a factor there, but I'd be picking him. I know he picked up a physical problem towards the end of the game, but I'd have him ahead of Cedric, that's for sure. I think we saw what a difference Alex Lacazette makes in terms of his ability to influence the game in other areas of the pitch. Didn't see him much in the opponent's penalty box, but worked really hard, led from the front. Let's hope he's got another game in his legs on Sunday. And Bukayo Saka, I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Yes, he didn't quite have the finishing touch when that chance came to in the box, but I actually think he did pretty well to get a shot away, and Alisson makes a decent save. Everything positive that we did in the game, and we did get forward at times. We did create opportunities where we threatened. He was at the heart of it, as is so often the case. I think he is the most important player on this team, and the key is for us to get him on the ball early in dangerous situations. That's what we didn't do against Nottingham Forest, and we were actually able to do it surprisingly often tonight. What else? Gabriel and Ben White, excellent. Ben White, he's far too handsome to be that good at defending. Beautiful, beautiful man, and he was putting a beautiful performance. I really think he's growing in stature. I like his character. I think he's been a much better pure defender than many of us anticipated. So he deserves great credit for that. Nuno back involved, off the bench, back in the fold. That's a positive sign. So yeah, I'm really, really proud of the performance this team produced. And not for the first time of late. Sunday. Of course, losing Granit Xhaka is a tremendous blow. And let's talk about the red card briefly. Arsenal actually went up the other end of the pitch and probably had our best opening of the first half with Saka cutting it back. I think it might have been Lacazette or Martinelli, I forget who was coming onto it. Ball was cleared and Liverpool on the break. Tierney and Gabriel squeezed up. They were caught out. Robertson plays a very good diagonal ball towards Jota. And Granit Xhaka, in fairness to him, has tracked, 60 yards to get from one end of the pitch to the other, followed his man. Aaron Ramsdale comes, stops. Should he come all the way? Paul Merson said he thought he should have come all the way and tried to head it clear. I have to look at the replay. I'm not sure he would have got there. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe coming would have been enough to put Xhaka off. I don't think. I think Ramsey had a few eggy moments tonight, as well as a couple of crucial interventions. The coming out thing is interesting. I remember the first game we played at Anfield in the league, there was one where he started coming and then retreated to his box, and he's done it in other games this season. I do wonder if that might be instruction to not just come too far out of goal, because if it's not, it's a facet of his game, because he's done it more than once. So maybe that's something that needs to be improved, or maybe that's something that needs to be looked at. Even so, does Xhaka need to make the challenge? He does. I actually think this is trickier than it looks, because it's a terrible challenge, straight red card, no doubt about it, and 2-game ban because it's his second red card of the season. The red card was for denial of a goal scoring opportunity, but second straight red of the season, so 2 games. I think it's very hard to tell any footballer in that situation, don't make a tackle. As fans, we always say it after the fact. Don't just let him score, let him run through. I think in the heat of those moments, that's a difficult thing to do, especially if you're Granit Xhaka, who, when the heat is on, does tend to make emotional decisions. I think cold-blooded rationality is certainly not his strength. So I can understand why he felt he had to make an intervention. It is a clumsy intervention. And it's one that, frankly, could have seen him given a card or a foul for dangerous play. I think there are some grounds in that particular incident where you could make a case to defend Granit Xhaka. I'm not going to do that, because I think that it's the weight of evidence. It's the amount of incidents that occur with him. I actually think this season it seems to have gone to another level. I don't know if it's his increased sense of responsibility as the leader of the young team. I don't know what it is, but he is attracting trouble, I think, like never before, actually. I think we used to talk last season or season before about, once every 10 games, there'll be a kind of brain fart or a moment where his head goes. I feel like we're talking about that with increasing regularity, almost on a game-by-game basis, and it feels like it's just whether or not we get away with it, or he gets away with it. The long and the short of it is, we probably need someone better in that position. I think everybody agrees on that. Are we going to get that in January? I don't think so. The likelihood is we are going to need him as soon as he's back available. But come the summer, is it something we need to think about? Yes. Is it something we need to think about in the short term in terms of just getting another midfielder in? I think it is. Obviously, we're looking very, very short now. What do we do on Sunday without Xhaka? I think the likelihood is we'll be without Odegaard. I don't know. Hopefully tonight gives Sambi Lokonga some confidence. Who do you put next to him? I mean, it has to be one of Chambers or Ben White, you would think. You probably don't want to move Ben White out of the back four, given how he played. If Tomiyasu is fit, I think it's Callum Chambers in next to Lokonga, with Emil Smith-Rowe hopefully ahead. I was told he'd be fit to play tonight at the weekend. He didn't quite make it. I wonder if that decision was made partly when we discovered Odegaard had COVID and we just knew we had to protect him. I hope so, because we need him. Maybe there's someone I'm missing. I mean, obviously we might be able to bring someone in. A lot of talk about Arthur. That is a player Arsenal are interested in and trying to figure out a deal for with Juventus on loan. He could be in, but it would pretty much have to be tomorrow, and I don't see that happening. So, a lot to talk about. We're doing an Arsecast Extra in the morning. That'll be out about lunchtime. But yeah, very, very proud. I wasn't there tonight, but my cousin was. Happy birthday, Will. And I'm sure he really enjoyed that. That's the sort of game where, as a fan, there's a lot of satisfaction to take. And a lot of people have a bit of beef with Liverpool at the moment about the postponement and things like that. Well, the best way to settle that score would be to knock them out. And after that result, that has to be considered to be on the cards. Right, leave it there. Huge game on Sunday. I will be at that one, and I already feel sick. Bye-bye.